Hey, welcome everyone to my website. If that's where you're looking at or viewing this, or on YouTube, let's talk about pressing 101. So, to get a better understanding of how to perform a pressing exercise, what it is that you is may be working or may not be working, or how to improve your pressing exercise. So that you can get a better body-mind connection in the pressing exercise. I'm going to go over a little bit of pressing fundamentals. So in the press, and I have the camera set up like this, so if I was laying down, so behind me would be me laying on a bench. So we're going to talk about anatomy, physiology, and biomechanics. So the biomechanic correct position, I'm going to stand up. You can see how my hands anatomically hang correctly. So that would be anatomically neutral, my hands. So knowing where my hands is, using my ulnus and my radius, which is called my forearm, my elbow, my shoulder, and an alignment that if I go straight up and I wanted to draw a straight line from all these particular regions and origins, this will put me in a compromised elbow position, biomechanically correct. What also puts me in a compromised or in a biomechanically correct position, depending on how my hands is as my leverage is from my elbows or my humerus to my elbows go out. If I let my wrist naturally start to turn as it comes up, that puts me biomechanically and anatomically correct as far as the leverages and supinating my hands, which is a barbell type pressing, putting your hands on type situation. Have I leverage back in, puts me anatomically correct again as I'm pressing and leveraging from right here with triceps a little bit more extended. So in this leveraging motion that you see right here, this will involve different muscle groups, from your lats to your anterior or front delts to your pectoral to your triceps. Down in here, you'll get more front delt, tricep, a little chest, more triceps, and some lats. As you start to leverage all the way out to neutral, where that humerus is almost straight across from the clavicle, which the scapula come up, so it's not a great pressing position, to where you get your triceps in the side leverage, but you get a little bit more chest involved and front delt. As I start to lower it a little bit, now you can incorporate triceps, a little bit less front delt, a little bit more pectoral. So those are the different leverages. So I'm going to explain something that's really simple and why it's probably more efficient and why you should probably press and take these things into your pressing motion. If you're a power lifter, there's some little bit of different other techniques, chest high, other leveraging breaking points and where your elbow go. But overall, just for a beginner, just to have a good foundation of what it is that you're working in your presses, from your bench press, shoulder press, or any type of pressing exercise. Some good keys to understand and to get to is anatomically correct, hands hanging. So if I stay anatomically correct and I sit down, I bend my hands up, so my hands kind of point in a little bit, so it creates like a triangle with my thumbs pointing in kind of towards each other. This is probably going to be one of your most safest pressing motions, where you're not going to get any real shoulder irritation. Your scapula doesn't actually flip up. You're going to be pretty powerful because your ulnus and radius is kind of stacked, so your forearm is acting as a stacked bone mechanism, meaning that it's going to be really strong, because that's what the bones are meant to do, to stack and be solid. And we're going to give you a karate reference to that. So when you see someone punching and they turn, the same thing when you're pressing, elbows come up and your hands turn to where they are pronated, palms down. Then that allows the radius to turn over the ulna, and it actually stacks and it becomes stronger into the spiral like bone spinning. If you can imagine a spiral staircase going up is actually stronger, because now you're talking about stacking over. So that stacks over, and that's what they do when they punch. Or you see a boxer and they punch and they turn, it actually makes it biomechanically more correct as you start to straighten out your hand. If I straighten out my hand and keep it like this, it really isn't biomechanically correct. My humerus wants to come over, the radius wants to spin over to be more stable right here. I'll actually probably hold more stable right here with this triangle than I could right here, because now we got the shoulder is kind of compromised as far as in the acromion and the humerus and spinning over. So that's pressing 101. Take those keys that I gave you about setting up your own press. A good thing is to do is to let your hands hang. I always believe in human evolution and natural fight or flight. So if I was going to jump and I let my hands hang from my shoulders naturally, this is going to be a good starting point to where your hands should be. And then from there, if you raise your elbows, keep your hands straight, palms flat, you raise your elbows to where it will seem like a barbell is. That's going to be a good pressing angle, and the bar is going to be trapped. The ulna, the radius is going to be stabilized. The bar is going through your hand, stacking over the ulna and radius of the wrist, so you're pressing from your wrist, and that's probably going to give you the best barbell pressing motion. If you have shoulder injuries, or if you have shoulder problems, or if you want to work each side so that you don't get a dominant side pressing type strength development, and you want to be more athletic and you want to work all the different ranges of coming up and going down, work your chest in all the different ranges, dumbbells is definitely going to help. And I like to use dumbbells, and most of my pressing dumbbell movements is like this, because anatomically I'm into my chest, my ulnar radius is somewhat stacked, I have a good base and I bring it in so it allows me to squeeze all the way to the clavicle, to the sternocleidomastoid tie-in of my pectoral muscles. So now I can actually use a semi-flying motion with outside leverage. If my hands went out a little bit wider, then it's going to stretch a little bit more. My shoulder blades is going to pinch a little bit more, but I can also be aggressive and go right here. And sometimes I play with the leverage from my forearm and my chest and those type of pressing movements. If you have any more questions, or if you want to get a better understanding of an exercise or something else, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I spent countless hours researching, studying, application to get a better understanding, so that I can bring great practical, enlightened, applied information to the discussions or to your training situation, so that you can improve. But the number one thing is, as an athlete, that I had to learn after all the injuries and stuff like that, is that the best ability that anyone can have in any situation is availability. So meaning that you're able to do that. You can be the best athlete in the world, but if you injure yourself because you don't understand the dynamics of what it is that you're doing, then you're going to have a short career, and a lot of that potential will never be fulfilled. Once again, YHWHBlessings is my web page. Go there and check it out. I will be posting videos and applications in my different pressing and workout ideologies and training philosophies. Within my, I want to say it's going on 31 years experience of doing this. Once again, my name is Lamont Gilchrist. Thanks.